YouTube, it's Missy, and today I'm here to share with you guys my April book haul slash Boxycharm unboxing. So I will do the Boxycharm at the very end in case you guys aren't interested in makeup, although my boxes are more skincare than makeup. You can choose when you get the Boxycharm what kind of products go inside your box. I mean, it's always going to be a surprise, but you can ask for either more makeup or more skincare, and I try to get more skincare because skincare is a lot more expensive. I don't feel like buying it on my own, especially if I don't know if it's going to work out or not. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to try them out ahead of time for a cheap price. But I'll talk all about Boxycharm at the end. So for this month, I did do a book outlet. I purchased a box from Book Outlet because they're still doing a 15% off of the entire website because of, you know, Corona and spring and what have you. So I have that box, and I also have a PR, it's not PR, but like an ARC box from the company that, you know, wants me to read a book, and then there's all this, you know, extra doodads that come with the book that's really cool. So I have something like that to share with you guys as well. So yeah, please excuse my hot and sweaty face. I closed the window because it's really loud. So I can't have the breeze, the fan's too loud, and also my lights that I usually use, which is just plain old umbrella light. It just makes so much heat, and so I would be dripping sweat if I had any of that on. So I do apologize if this video is slightly darker than normal. This is just natural lighting in my room. Alright, let's get started. The first two books were gifted to me by Keely over at A Bibliophile's Journey. She's the sweetest. I will leave her channel link down below. Please go check out her videos. She's awesome. And yeah, I always send my book friends packages throughout the year because, you know, I like buying things for people, and she did the same for me, so that was very nice of her. She sent me From Here to Eternity, Traveling the World to Find the Good Death by Caitlin Doughty. Now, Caitlin is the one who wrote Smoke Gets in Their Eyes and Other Stories from the Crematory. It's a nonfiction about Caitlin. Yeah, that's, I thought I said her name wrong for some reason. It's a story about Caitlin, you know, how she started her business. So at the beginning, she was working with the crematory, and she learned how that went. And then once it became clear how embalming works, she decided she didn't really like that method of, you know, making the people ready for death. So she became a mortician, and so she goes around and talks about death in a good light and how we don't need to be afraid of it. I absolutely loved her first book, which I do own. I read it. I completely recommend reading it, especially if you are interested in death or if death scares you. If you're terrified of what happens, you know, this might put your mind at ease. It's a natural process, and we shouldn't be afraid of it since there's no way to stop it. We will all die at one point, even though it sounds morbid. We cannot last forever, and it's better to know our options at the end than, you know, allow our you know, parents or family members or whomever to choose that for us. So if you have a birth plan for your children, you should also have a death plan for yourself, so that way, you know, things happen the way you want it to. So with this, From Here to Eternity, this is her second book. I have not read this yet. I'm really looking forward to reading it. She also has a YouTube channel called Ask a Mortician, and if you wanted to follow her on Instagram, it's at A Good Death, I think. But I'll leave all of her information down below if you're interested in this mortician. She is amazing. She also grew up in Hawaii, so yeah, there's that. I'm biased. And then the second book that Keely sent me is My Neighbor Totoro, the original story by, you know, Miyazaki, and then the novel was written by Sugiko Kubo. Sugiko Kubo. If you have never seen the animation of My Neighbor Totoro, it's my literal favorite. there's 3 favorites that I would watch every single day, back to back, for the rest of my life. It would be Ponyo, My Neighbor Totoro, and then Howl's Moving Castle. Now, I've read the story, Howl's Moving Castle, and I absolutely loved that book. It made me smile the entire time, and I'm hoping it's the same with this one. Although, in this one, the mom is sick, so that's a little bit sad, and then Sosuke's sister is missing, and that's also sad. But Totoro and the other little like forest creatures are super cute. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Alright, and then the other book that was gifted to me this month is from Penelope, my other BFF here on YouTube. I again will leave her channel link down below. She isn't creating videos right now. She's on a hiatus, but she is always on Instagram. So I'll leave her Instagram, which is the same as Penelope's Pics, down below, and she does do a lot of Insta stories on the things that she is reading. She purchased for me Looking Glass, The Chronicles of Alice's Novellas by Christina Henry. Now, Christina Henry does a lot of adult retellings of fairy tales or, you know, classics. So for this one, it's Alice, and then there's a second book, which is just a duology. So there's Alice, and then the next one is The Red Queen, and then this is the novellas that take place in the same world. I don't know if it comes before. Well, Looking Glass is always after, so this must be the, like, sequels. Yes, maybe so. I really love Christina Henry. I do own a couple other of her books. You can't really see down here, but there's The Mermaid down here. And then she also has a Peter Pan retelling and a Red Riding Hood retelling. I don't own that book, but I will eventually buy it because I need to own all of Christina Henry's books. They're really, really good. And again, this is an adult retelling, so there's going to be adult themes like sex and other things. Definitely looking forward to that. It was funny because Penelope goes, "I can't believe you didn't buy it yet." Oh, when she sent this to me, I received it 2 days after it had come out. So yeah, thank you, Penelope. You're so funny. All right, and then I have a book that I received from an author. He reached out to me on my email. He's from Canada, and the book is called The Essence of Darkness by Tom Clearlake, and this is published by Moonlight. This is a mystery thriller, I think. It says, 5 unexplained child disappearances have plagued the small town of St. Mary's in the space of 4 months. All the elements indicate that these are abductions. FBI Special Agent Elliot Cooper is sent to investigate. Little by little, he uncovers facts that he can't rationally explain. Soon he finds that a dark and very ancient evil seems to have taken over the forests around the city. This is only the beginning of his investigation. So there's a lot of buzzwords in here, and when I read the synopsis, when the author first contacted me, I was like, okay, FBI agent, absolutely. I love procedural murder crime books. I like being in the mindset of the detective and trying to figure out and solve the case. I also like, you know, supernatural, evil, creepy, demonic things. I like the woods. I like anything to do with children kidnappings, or just kidnappings in general, or lost children or lost people in woods. I don't know why. Those are my buzzwords. I find them fascinating, and so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this book. So again, thank you so much, Tom, for sending this to me. I'm hoping to get to it very, very soon. And then I purchased 3 books for myself on Amazon because I wanted to. Raise your hand if you stay up at night, late at night. Sometimes maybe you're drinking, maybe. You're not drunk, but you're drinking, say, wine or a beer or anything, and it's maybe midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning, and you have an itch to buy books, and you buy them really late at night, and then you don't regret it in the morning because you love books so much, but yet you go, oh, did I really need that? Raise your hand. Because I do it all the time. Anytime I purchase books, it's never during the day. It's always between 12 and 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm always having wine or whatever, and I'm purchasing books. So, Anywho, the first one I want to show you guys is Voices, and this is The Final Hours of Joan of Arc by David Elliott. Now, if I can find the picture, I don't know why I said if I can find. If I'm not lazy, I will insert a picture here of Bull. Now, Bull is the first book that I ever read by this author, David Elliott. It is a retelling of the Minotaur in verse, and normally I hate books in verse because I don't like modern fiction or modern poetry. I don't like modern poetry because I am so used to the iambic pentameter. I never can say that properly, but I like things that rhyme. I want it to be very sing-songy. When I'm talking, I want to have a bounce to it. I don't want it to cut off all ugly and then start a new sentence and it doesn't make sense. Because if that's the case, then it's more of like flowery, self-conscious, like speak or a thought. It's not necessarily a poem, in my eyes. I don't want anybody to say down, well, you don't know what a poem is. That's fine. I even went and took a poetry workshop in college. I've been in poetry. I know the difference between the classic way of writing poetry and the modern way, and I don't like the modern way. I just don't like it. So, with that being said, his poetry is in the classic way, so it all rhymes. The first one I was telling you about, Bull, is about the Minotaur, so it's the whole Minotaur story, and it talks about Poseidon and the king and his wife and how she had the Minotaur, and it's such a good book. I read the whole thing in one sitting. It took me like an hour and a half to read it out loud to my oldest son, because I read all of my books out loud to my oldest son. And so I decided to get another book from him. I don't know how many books he has written. I think this is the second one, though. I could be wrong. But yeah, this is the Joan of Arc. So it's going to be also in verse. And with this one, it has actual information from the witnesses at her death. So her friends and family wrote, what does it say on the inside? They wrote something. It's called the Trial of Condemnation. So we hear about the trial where she died, and then we learn about the trial of nullification where she then became a saint, where finally her friends, family, other people that followed her was like, are you guys insane? She was not a witch. And so all of that is in here. So it's not only a really nice poem, modern day with the classic kind of writing, but what's the word I'm looking for? Historically accurate? There we go. Woohoo! Words. All right. Next, I purchased myself his Hideous Heart, edited by Dahlia Adler. This is 13 of Edgar Allan Poe's most unsettling tales reimagined, including original tales. And these are all the authors on the back that helped. So there's Kendar Blake, there's Stephanie Coohan, there is, who else do I know? Hilary Monahan. I love Hilary Monahan. And Rin Chupeco and Tessa Gratton. I don't know the other people, but if you didn't know, my favorite author that is dead is Edgar Allan Poe. And so I really wanted to purchase this when it first came out, and since I haven't read in like the last 6 months, I forgot all about it. And then I saw Lala show this to us on her channel, and I was like, oh yeah, I wanted that book, so I bought it. And then the last book I purchased, which is going to be a new series that I'm starting soon, and that is The Graveyard Apartments. This is a Japanese horror written by Mariko Koike. Koike? Koike or Koike? I think it's Koike. It says it's claustrophobic and chilling, slowly wraps its icy fingers around your neck, while the last 30 pages will have you holding your breath. I love Japanese horror movies, and I have really enjoyed reading Japanese horror that's been translated. There's a difference between our horror and theirs. Theirs is very subtle, and it's more of an eerie kind of thing. So the whole thing is foreboding. Like, you're just constantly in this state of anxiousness because you don't know what's around the corner, but that doesn't necessarily pop out like in a very Western traditional like jump scare tactic. So I really like how it's just subtly eerie the entire time instead of kind of getting there where there's a climax and then there's a kind of weaning away from it. It's just the whole part is creepy. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this one. So stay tuned for these series. I'll be talking about it soon. And yeah, the next thing I want to show you guys is the box that I received in the mail. Now, this is from Books Forward. I think Book Friends is a different company. And I'll get more into detail with that later. I did join a group where there's like, they're the middleman. I've done this before in the past where I've joined like a website where they allow me to choose books to review. And it's all from like real big publishing houses. And then it just allows us to get books and then share them on our social media. And you know, I like to help out if I can, especially if it's horror based. I know some people reach out to me and they're like, hey, do you want to read this romance? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I don't. By the way, I'm just rambling because I hate tape, and I, of course, didn't bring my box cutter, and I have to untape the box. So, I guess I should have looked up where this box came from, but all of the information should be in the inside. I'm not the first person who has received like a, what are these called? What are these packages called? Like a swag, like a swag box to represent their book inside. I'm giving up. I need to find the box cutter. Finally got the box cutter. Let's, oh. Did you know that there's tape on all the sides, not just the bottom? So if you only undo the bottom, the box isn't actually going to open up. All right, let's try this again. Yay! Okay, so, oh, did I share the front? The front says, I found a dwarf and there's something funny growing in my yard. Ooh! And here is all of the swag. I don't want any of the little purple worms, you know, the paper to come out. So I'll just, you know, pull stuff out now that, what am I trying to say? Now that the box is open. Alright, so it says here, we found a dwarf and some other fairy creatures. Here's what you'll need to help. I love that we have a checklist. I love checklists. And then we have the Dwarf Story. I love the way these things work. Like, all of the work it goes into creating like a fun atmosphere to pick up the book and get interested in it. Alright, the next thing in the box, oh, we got some seeds. This is Blue Star Sea Holly seeds. Alright, I am really bad at growing things, so we will see if I kill them or not. I'll try it out. Next we got this, and I'm assuming it blows up, so let's just open it. Wouldn't it be funny if it was a stein? I like to guess. Is it a stein? Oh no, is it? Oh, it's an axe. It's a blow-up axe. I love this. I like to hit my children, you know. Not like a big meanie parent who abuses their children, but we do have, you know, the Hulk hands, and when my kids aren't looking, I will kidney punch them with Hulk hands. Lightly. Come on, I'm a mom of 2 boys. You got a rough house. You can't be dainty with them. Anyways, I'm going to chop their necks off with this blow-up axe. Thank you, Books Forward. All right, what else do I got? I got a magnifying glass. My 12-year-old loves anything like this. Does my eyeball look big? I can't tell. Wait. Oh, there we go. There we go. Maybe this will be the thumbnail. Just joking. All right, and then we got some dragons, a green and a red one, and we got a dwarf with a, what are these things called again? I can't think of what this weapon is called, and he also has a shield. Oh, good Lord. Let me get the worms off, but yes. I never wanted anything more in my entire life. So I have a dwarf hat. There we go. Be jealous. Oh, shizzliz. I'm so excited. So, just quickly, this is going to be such a long video anyway. I am doing the Half-a-Ween-a-thon, and today's the last day, and they asked us to dress up, yeah? They told us to dress up, and so I was thinking, oh, I would just dress up as a witch because, you know, I already have all that stuff, but geez, I can absolutely be a dwarf. And I think I have a Stein in my here. Oh yes. Oh yes. Wait. Let's make it official. Let's bring the rest of my beard down. There we go. There we go. Maybe I'll talk like this for the rest of the box. Yes. Yes. Okay. As I am a dwarf, I'm going to talk about the book that I'll be reading. It's Dwarf Story, Professor W.W. Marplot. For Artie to miss a day of school, either he is very, very sick or a fairy tale character, turf war has begun in his backyard. So begins this particular Wednesday. Yeah. Oh, more squigglies. I'm so excited to read this book to my children. I'm going to start it tonight if they allow me to. Sometimes they get grouchy and they don't want to listen to stories. Most of the time I enforce it. Let me know down below if you like middle grade and you like dwarves. Dwarves are my favorite. They are higher up than princesses, unicorns, dragons. If a story has a dwarf in it, I am more than likely going to read it. And my oldest son said that I have to speak like a dwarf the entire time I am reading this, which hurts my throat. But if my son is excited at 15 to have his mom read to him, then I will do whatever it takes to continue to keep him engaged. And that is to ruin my throat while I try to gargle in a terribly Scottish accent a dwarf voice. So, with that being said, that was it. I'm going to open up my box, my book outlet box now, and I don't feel like having a beard on or a hat because it's getting very hot. Getting very hot. All right. Thank you so much, Books Forward. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this box. I have fake beard in my mouth. Gross. All right. On to my book outlet box. This one is like 11 books, maybe? It says do not use a box cutter. I used a box cutter anyway, but I made sure I didn't press down hard. All right, and we will do the sneaky peekies. Now, if you guys are wondering how the shipping is right now for Book Outlet, if you are interested in getting a box, normally it takes like 14 days to get to me from Canada. It usually goes from Canada, and then it's in Ohio, and then from Ohio it comes through to California. It didn't, I want to say it took, instead of 2 weeks, it took like 3.5 to 4 weeks, but I don't mind. I understand. And it's fun to get things sometimes a lot later than you anticipated because you forget, and then it's a surprise, and then you're like, oh yeah, I got books. So here's the sneaky peekies. I got books that I have been wanting for a really long time, and especially books that I've wanted for a really long time that was mega cheap, because I don't like spending a lot. And they stopped, let me get my phone number and address out of the paper, but they stopped printing how much each book cost. I'm not sure why, if it was just more, my nose ring crooked? It was like more work for them. Who knows? Maybe because the prices changed all the time too. Again, I'm not sure. But it's no longer on there, so I can't tell you exactly how much I paid for each book. Most books that I buy are going to be less than $7 because, again, I don't like paying full price for books. All right, so the first thing I have in the box is Warren the 13th and the Whispering Woods. This is the second book in the Warren 13th trilogy. I do own the first one. I have not quite read it. I don't know why I said quite. I haven't read it at all. I didn't even pick it up once. I mean, I have skimmed through it, like looked at the pictures. So let me just kind of show you my pictures a little bit. Here's some of the pictures. This is a middle grade story. I usually buy middle grade horror books, and so I think this is what this is too. It says, reader beware, this volume contains quicksand, secret codes, witches, angry trees, and other dangerous elements. Looking forward to some of that. I did buy the second one because I own the first one, and the third one is coming out from Quirk Books this year, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be receiving it in the mail for a honest review. So I wanted to start the first and second one so I can read the third one. Otherwise, I'll be waiting on it forever. So I did get that. Next, I got... Ew. Yes. So excited. So excited. Okay, next I got Poppet by Mo Hatter. Where's the other ones? I don't know where the other one. I moved all of my books. It used to be sitting over here, the Mo Hater books, or Hatter. I think it's Hater. One second. Excuse me. Okay, so I really like these tiny, chunky books, and they're really hard to find because I don't think they really produce them. Well, maybe, obviously they produce them, but it's a UK edition, and so in the United States they have them in the hardback, and they're the tall, you know, like trade backs or hardbacks, and I don't want that picture. I wanted all of them to be the chunky ones, and so I think this is the 5th book in the series. I own the first 2, and so I wanted to have them all in the same kind of short and stocky book, if that makes sense. I know that Mo Hater is a horror writer, or at least she does a lot of horror and thrillers, and I've been looking forward to reading her. I do own quite a few of her books, but normally what happens is when I buy books, it's because I heard someone else talk about it I read a synopsis and that sounded amazing. And then, of course, because the first one sounded good, I wanted the whole series. And so I slowly purchased all of the books in the series, even though I haven't even read the first one, Story of My Life. I do it constantly. And let's move on. All right, next I purchased Unstoppable Moses, a novel by Tyler James Smith. This was like $1.50, something like that, and it's a hardcover. I put this on my most anticipated readings list sometime last year, and it's about a boy who, I think he burns down a convenience store. He burns something with his cousin, and in order to keep himself from going to juvie, he has to do something. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, it's supposed to be, it says it's an unstoppable, radiant, one of those rare debut novels that shines with humor, love, compassion, and hope, with a cast of unforgettable characters who jump off the pages and into your heart. This reminded me of Andrew Smith's writing. At least from the synopsis, it kind of sounded like Andrew Smith, and I really like Andrew Smith's Grasshopper Jungle, so I was hoping that this would kind of be in the same essence as that one, where you have some derpy teenagers who get into a pickle and they need to find their ways out while, you know, living a normal, realistic life. So, it's like a comedy slash contemporary, and I don't read a lot of contemporary unless it's like mental health or something similar, because I don't want to read romance and I don't want to read major tragedies either. So there's that one. And then I also picked up The Rattled Bones by S.M. Parker. Now, I've only seen this book in the hardcover edition, so when I saw it in paperback, I was like, this cover is gorgeous. I love it. And this is a murder mystery story. I haven't read this one, and but I wanted it last year, and so I finally have it. Maybe it was the year before. A lot of the books I put onto Book Outlet as soon as they come out, and I can put it in my wish list, because, you know, Book Outlet is kind of weird. Like, some books that are brand new that just come out show up in a month or two right after publication, and sometimes you have to wait 6 months, sometimes a year. So I can't remember when this came out. I guess I could look it up and stop being lazy. That would make more sense. This came out in 2017, so it's been out a while. Okay. Well, this paperback came out in 2018. Anywho, I'm looking forward to reading it. I can't wait. If you've read this, let me know down below. And then I bought, I'm so excited. I bought the Oddmire, Book 1, Changeling by William Ritter. Now, if you guys don't know who William Ritter is, he wrote the Jacoby series for YA. They have gorgeous covers. I loved Jacoby, and I read the second book, which was something Bones. It's a yellow book. I can't remember what the title is called. But I really, really fell in love with William Ritter's writing. I love Jacoby, the character, who is a paranormal detective, and he has a sidekick, or, you know, an assistant that I really, really enjoy. So I had to read this one. I was contacted by Aliquin, I think that's how you say the publishing house, last year to read the e-arc of this book, and so I did that, and I really loved it. And they just contacted me a couple weeks ago and asked if I wanted book 2, so I do have that one on my Kindle. I was actually going to share that with you guys, but I don't know how to get to the picture. Let me see. Maybe it doesn't have a picture for the cover yet. Let's see. So I push, look at my old ass Kindle. You see, I still have a keyboard. This is like version 2 or something. Can I? It was Beastly Bones. That was what it was called. I want to see the cover. Show me the cover. Ah, there's no cover. Never mind. Bummer drag. If I can find a cover, I will leave it here if they have one available, but it doesn't come out until August or September. I can't remember. So I will be reading book 2 of the Oddmire, and this is about twin boys. One is a changeling, one is human. A goblin drops off the changeling. He's supposed to switch out the kids, but mom comes in and he freaks and leaves both children there. The mom goes to check on her son and realizes, okay, now I have 2 of the same boys, and the whole village knows about changelings and how this is something that has happened for generations. And so she just accepts that, hey, they messed up and it's a good thing because I get to keep my son and I get a second one. So she raises her twins as if nothing ever happened, that she just always had 2 boys. And the village kind of teases the boys like, oh, we know what you are. You're the changeling. And the boys don't know who is who, but they don't care. And one day the goblin comes back and he like really needs that child back, the original, the changeling kid, in order to keep the forest alive and not have something bad happen with the forest and then like the fairy tale realm. So very fun book. Absolutely loved it. Loved the mom and boys. Loved all of the characters. The goblin was super cute, even though he messed up at the beginning. He has like he gets better at the end. There is a character development, you know, within the story. I just really, really love William Ritter's writing. And look, I haven't even opened this book yet. The inside has a map of the wild wood. So cute. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I have my Kindle edition didn't have any real like good pictures. So that is the Candlebeard guy. I might have seen the Candlebeard picture, but I like that each chapter head is a different picture. Yay! Love that. If you are looking for a new middle grade book to read to your children, I highly recommend The Oddmire. It's an adorable story, and I get to read the sequel, which I'm super excited about because my kids really liked it too. All right, next I have the Sacrifice box by Martin Stewart. This reminded me kind of like it, but in a not as scary way. So we have a group of kids, kind of like the Loser Club in, you know, the book It. And they make a pact that they're going to stick the thing that they love the most inside this box. But the pact is they are not allowed to take anything out of the box. And I don't know how much time has passed when they realize that someone has taken that item out. And whatever the box is, it has, you know, it's an entity, so it has feelings and thoughts. So I think it's going to come after them because they removed something from the box. And we get to find out who it is. I did borrow this. Ooh, it's red underneath the dash jacket. I did borrow this from the library when it first came out, but I never actually picked it up. I think I read like the first 2 pages and it sounded really good, and then I put it down for other books. So, oh, thanks for the security thing. Yeah, so looking forward to reading this. Can't wait. And then I bought Little Boy Blue. This isn't the actual, I hope it's the same size. If you are a book collector like myself and you get obsessed with books matching, raise your hands. Because, yeah, I have, the first one's Eeny Meeny. I can't remember what the second one is, but I think this is like the 5th book in the series, maybe. This is a Detective Helen Grace thriller. So, like I said, I really like, oh, so it's Eeny Meeny, Pop Goes the Weasel, The Doll's House, Liar Liar, and then this book. So this is the 5th book. I wonder if this is the final or if there's going to be more after this. But now I own the whole series, so I definitely want to pick them up. But what I was saying about matching, my other ones are the French flaps. So this right here, this like ripped section that you see is actually the French flap where you can open it up. This one's just a normal trade paperback. So that's a fake rip, but I'm hoping it's the same size at least because the cover and the spines still match. We'll see. Next I got When I Am Through With You by Stephanie Cohen. I have read her Complicit book, which I found extremely disturbing. And then I also have another one of her books, maybe two more. I have two more of her books, and then now I have this one. So Stephanie Cohen also wrote for the 13 Hideous Hearts anthology that I purchased at the beginning of the month. So in Complicit, this is the only book that I can talk to you guys about. I'll show you the picture of Complicit. It's about a boy who has some kind of, he's in and out of trouble all the time. I can't remember if he's like a foster kid, but he does have a sister. Oh, no. No, his sister ran away. Something like that. And he's been trying to like get a hold of her. But the end, the end was like, the twist was like 8 pages before the book was over. Maybe like 4 pages before the book was over. And I wasn't expecting it. I almost choked on my drink. I remember that very clearly because I went, what? And I went, oh, I choked on it. So if you like really creepy, like contemporary reads that turn out to be like thrillers that have like a weird twist at the end, you might like this author. I'm looking forward to this one. This one says, a tense, masterful thriller that gripped me from the first page. I can't remember what the synopsis is, but I like to go into some of these books, especially if there's no synopsis on the back. I like to go in blind thinking, well, if they don't share it with you on the back, then that must mean you don't need to know. And I like her writing, so I figured I'd give it a go. The next one I have here is The Night Country, which is the sequel to The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. And I really liked the first book, The Hazelwood, which is a story about a girl who has lost her mother. She's been on the run, and they're like running away from their grandma, like the mom's mom for some reason. And the mom disappears, and then she keeps being like bombarded by these people who are trying to kidnap her. And she finds out that her grandma used to live in a house that was kind of like on this fairy tale land. And then she learns all these really scary stories, like really scary fairy tale stories, kind of like the Grimm's fairy tales instead of the other one. So you don't get the cutesy Cinderella, you get the one where the sisters cut their toes and heels off to fit into the shoe. So in the Hazelwood, you get that kind of scary fairy tales intertwined with the story of the girl trying to find her mother. And so this is the sequel. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I really liked the first one. And here is the end pages. And it's gray. Oh, and we have a little embossment there of, I can't remember what that building is called, but it's in New York. What's that wedge building called? I'm not from New York. I've never been there, so I can't tell you. But, yes. That one, I think this one just came out recently. Alright, and then the next one I bought is Words on Bathroom Walls by Julia Walton. It says, if you can't trust your mind, trust your heart. This is a mental illness or mental health contemporary. It says, the important thing about having a problem is knowing that it's real. My problem, I'm a schizophrenic, and Maya might find out. I think Maya is her girlfriend, so this is also a lesbian story. Ooh, it says, I love Jennifer Longo. She wrote up to this point and also 6 Feet Under, 6 Feet Below. Something like that. A brutal, beautiful book that sits right beside The Perks of Being a Wallflower and I'll Give You the Sun. So let me know down below if you've read this one. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And this one was also like under $2. I don't know why the good books are always the cheapest ones. I get happy when they're like that. But it's like the books that aren't as popular but are good books are the ones that are cheaper. And then the very last book that I purchased is The Spider and the Fly by Claudia Rowe. This is a nonfiction, and this is a reporter, a serial killer, and the meaning of murder. Now, I think she interviews him while he's in prison, but I can't remember all the way. But here is the end pages. It's a spider web. And then underneath the dust jacket is god-awful. I'm in cream and black. No, thank you. Yeah, and it's a nonfiction, so it's not going to have like fancy chapter heads or anything. But those were all the books that I got from Book Outlet. What do you guys think about those? Let me know down below. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in what I got in my April Boxycharm box, then keep on watching. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming and watching this video. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, and that your family is safe and healthy, and hopefully this quarantine ends soon, because I feel like I'm getting a little chunky, more than usual. My body fluctuates a lot, but I feel like I'm getting more chunky than usual. I need to get outside. Anywho, thank you again for watching, and for those that are going to stay for the Boxycharm, then let's get started with that one. Alright, so I did already open this up because I wanted to see what was inside, and I convinced my friend from work, Sasha, to also get this box, and so she also gets it. And this theme for this week, this month is called Festival Vibes. So yeah, this is going, last month in March, it didn't have one of these, so I didn't know how much everything cost. But I do have it today, so I can share that with you guys. And then here is the box. So every single month you get 5 full-size products. The box itself is $25. It's a subscription, so every single month they, credit your card $25. And between the 10th and I think the 15th or maybe the 20th, depending on where you live and when they send these out, your box will show up. And again, you got the 5 full-size bottles or products in the box itself. So the first one I'm going to share with you guys is this Elemis Superfood Sika Calm Cleansing Foam. This is a calming micellar cleanser. Now, I have been using the Superfood mask on my face once a week since I got these boxes back in January. So for the last couple of months, I've been using that Superfood mask once a week, and I don't know what masks are supposed to do. I don't have a bad reaction, but I don't see myself, losing old face. I still have my giant crater wrinkles in my forehead, but I don't have like smile lines. I really don't have crow's feet. So if there was a magical solution to literally acid burn my giant wrinkles from my forehead away, I would love that, but I think you can only really do that with Botox, and I'm too afraid to do that. So this is the cleansing foam. I'll let you guys know how it is. We also got the Pore Fessional Pore Primer, and I think this is just the original. I know that, whatchamacallit, Kathleen Lights, she did her unboxing this month, and hers was a moisturizing one. I think this is just the original. And then we also got, or I got in the box, these Hank and Henry makeup sponges. I don't use foundation on my face, but these look cute. We have a flat surface and a round. These are more like for the inner corner of the eye. And then we have this one. So they are like pyramid shaped. I like having sponges just in case, but I don't really wear foundation. So who knows when I'll get to that. And then we got these makeup brushes, which I'm super excited about. These are from Lavish. You can never have too many eye brushes, in my opinion. I'm sure some people think that they can have too many, but I love eye brushes so much, and I like to do my face, or my eyes a lot. So it's good to have something that you can switch out. So you have this small tapered blending brush, probably for the, you know, the crease. And then we have a eyeliner brush here, which is great because I didn't have a pointy eyeliner type of brush. I only have a angled one. So this is nice to have like a straight line. And then we have the orange is a pencil brush, or a, you know, a smudge brush for underneath the waterline. And then we have a tiny packer here to pack on probably like the inner third of your eyelid. I like the different colors. And then we have a angled brush and a spoolie, which I never had a spoolie before, so it's nice to have one just on its own and not attached to my eyebrow pencil. But it also gives you the names on the brushes. So we have the brow groomer, we have pencil, we have eye shading. But with this flat paddle surface, this is more of like a packer, according to all of the gurus I watch. This is a fine liner, and again, the pink one, it says it's a tapered blending. Yay! You see how many videos I watch? I knew what these were before I even read the sides. So fancy. And then the very last thing in the box is this Illuminati gel paint electric like neon eyeliners or gel liners. I tried these out on my hands when I first opened them up. They are amazing. I tried them on my waterline to test them out as well. It made me feel like Harley Quinn, because it comes in blue and pink. There we go, blue and pink. It's pretty neon. They are super soft and very jelly. They do smear very easily if you want them to come off. But on the waterline, if you don't touch your waterline, it can stay on for a good 24 hours. I mean, when I first did this on my hand last week, or the week before when I opened this up, I didn't wash it, or I didn't smear it right away. I let it dry. So once these are dried down, they stay put. So I put it on there, and then hours went by. I forgot that I had it on my hand, and then I was washing dishes and it was still there, and then I took a shower and it was still there, and the next day I was, you know, doing dishes again and it was still there. So it took a few days for it to come off of my hand. With my eyes, same thing. That night I forgot to take my eyeliner off because I didn't have any mascara on or anything else besides the eyeliners. So I forgot to take it off, and then the next day it was still on, so through sleep it stayed on. So these are, I don't know, they last a good while. It wasn't like I was crying or sweating, so I don't know how long they last on the eye if that's the case. But it lasted a good while, over 12 to 24 hour period, and that is it. So I guess I'll just quickly tell you what the prices were for everything. The face primer is $32. The Pore Fessional is $32. And then we have the Superfood Cleansing Foam, which is another $32. The beauty sponges are $20. The Neon Brush Collection is $29.99. And the eyeliners, unbelievably, is $42 for the two of them. Now, I can attest to that because I wanted to go onto, God, it's hot. I wanted to go onto Urban Decay and buy two eyeliners because they were doing like a Mother's Day sale, which is now over, which is a bummer. But you could buy one, get the second one free. And for Urban Decay, their eyeliners are $22 a piece. So these are equivalent to an Urban Decay price. And I ended up not buying it because I don't want to spend $44 plus shipping on two eyeliners. That made me kind of freak out a little bit. So basically, this is more than $100 of products, and you spend $25 to get the box each month. So if you like makeup and, you know, skincare, and you're willing to fork out the $25 for a fun surprise every month, then I highly recommend. Each person has their own kind of collection, or they have their own, what have you, like allowance that they buy every month. I don't buy like Starbucks. I know some people who buy Starbucks every single day, sometimes twice a day. That's $5 to $10 every single day on coffee. So my box was 4 coffees in 1 month. I want you guys to always think about that. When you think, that sounds a lot. That sounds really expensive. I don't want that. Well, why don't you think about something that you buy all the time and compare the price? Depends on what's worth it, right? You could buy a $4 box of ice cream, or you could spend $4 and get, you know, a whole thing of carrots and a whole thing of potatoes. That's roasted veggies for an entire week, maybe longer. I would choose the ice cream. Anyways, I'm not here to tell you guys how to spend your money, but the box to me is worth it. So if you want makeup surprises every month, it's $25. And there you go. You just fill out the information. I'll leave the link down below. I don't get paid for this. I don't have an affiliate link. They haven't paid for me to say any of this. I have 4,000 something subscribers. I am a nobody on YouTube. So no one's given me money for anything. I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of this video. And that is it. Thank you so much for sticking with me for the entire thing. I know this video is long, and I figured, hey, I only make a video maybe once a week, so if it's an hour long, so be it, right? We're in quarantine, and I'm going crazy, and we're not doing anything else. So get yourself a snack and a drink. Well, the movie. Again, with the movie. The video's over, so you're probably finished with your drink and snack. I don't know. Maybe you want to rewind and watch it again. Who knows? Thank you so much again, and that is it. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!